Hey, I'm Jesse, and I kind of found this suitcase. This is a pretty old suitcase. It's got bits of damage here and there. I like that it has metal hardware, but it has a little bit of corrosion. The clip here must have broken off at some point, and the metal on this side is even more gross. What are we doing here? We're going to turn this old suitcase into a nice little coffee table. So we're going to need some special legs for this guy. And someone gave me a table that I really didn't like, but it had these cool ball wheels on the bottom. They can roll in every lateral direction, and they look pretty cool. And these have a bit of rust on them, so I got to try to clean them up. First, I got to take them off these legs. There's this metal insert inside the wooden leg, and then this ball wheel should detach from that. But this one's being a little tricky, so I need to put this insert piece back into the piece of wood. It's not the end of the world, but it really bothered me at the time. I am using these wheeled legs because I want this coffee table to be able to roll around. A while ago I made a coffee table that was too heavy for my kids to move, but this one we can just roll around so they can play games in the living room. Like, our living room is kind of the catch-all room for all the activities that we do. You know, you got your basic movie and TV watching, but you also got video games and sometimes board games. And sometimes you have exercises like calisthenics or that game Just Dance. We do a lot of crafts in there, and we also set out snacks. It is by far the most used room in the house. So we need a lightweight coffee table that can move around. Alright, I don't actually know what this wire brush is for. It doesn't really take off any rust. So I'm going to switch over to some sandpaper and just clean these things up the way I know how. It's not every project, but it's maybe 90% of my projects I gotta hand sand something. And some people will treat metal with like a special chemical that removes rust completely. I don't have that chemical, and I don't know what it's called. But if you know what it's called, go ahead and type it in the comments and then forward this video to 10 of your friends. But for now, we'll just see how good the sandpaper and spray paint can do. And I can tell you right now that so far none of the rust has returned. And I'm going to use my favorite gold spray paint on these metal fenders. But first I need to cover up these wheels. I don't know any other way to cover them up other than this blue masking tape. It is extremely tedious and not very perfect. Like, there's tiny little gaps and a little bit of spray paint gets in there, but over time that spray paint that got on the wheels kind of wipes away from rolling around in my living room. And I really do like this gold spray paint. I use the same can on several projects over the years. So let's go ahead and spray it up. I definitely sprayed a little too much at times. Like, you never want it to drip, you know? I used to play soccer with a guy who used to spray paint cars, and I asked him, how do you keep it from dripping? And he goes, oh, you just spray it evenly. Like, that was it. He didn't explain how to do that. And that's probably why I still overspray. Anyway, I'm just going to cut up these legs here. Two of them got to be a little longer than the other two. The suitcase is fatter on one side, so the legs have to be shorter on that side. And I'm going to need a piece of wood underneath the suitcase to attach the legs. It just seemed like it wouldn't be sturdy if I attached the legs directly to the suitcase. And this is just some scrap wood from a previous project. I think pretty much I only use scrap wood at this point. And I have to cut both ends of these boards so that they are perfectly square. And basically I'm making a mini table that will hold up this suitcase. And if I hold these two boards side by side, they are the perfect width for this suitcase. And this is a pretty light level of woodworking here. Just some straight cuts and some light sanding, and this coffee table will be about as sturdy as any other coffee table. I had a friend who once made a side table by just attaching legs to a window. Antique window, wood frame, 4 panes, and then just these 4 wooden legs that he screwed through the window's frame straight down to the top of the legs. It wasn't sturdy at all, and you had to be careful when you set things down on it because you would, accidentally set your cup on a window pane frame. But gosh, he loved that little side table. He had an idea and he went for it, and that was his entry point into furniture woodworking. I don't think he built many things after that, but he could have. And this little suitcase coffee table is roughly about that same skill level, but just maybe a little more practical. I just need a little bit of a round over on 3 of the edges on each board, because I'm pretty sure little kids sitting next to the coffee table will put their hands under there and find out that edge is sharp or smooth. And I left one edge on each board unsanded because they already fit together pretty nice. And I contemplated using biscuits or dowels to join these together, but I ended up not doing that. And I'm really grateful that someone gave me these old clamps. They're perfect for this size project. And we'll just set this to dry while we go back to the old suitcase. I don't really know what to do with this metal trim that's peeling, so I'm just going to clean it up with a wire brush. That's just going to be good enough for now, I guess. But those brass looking parts are going to get a special treatment. So like blue masking tape can sometimes cost quite a bit at Home Depot, but once in a while I can find it at the dollar store. And that might not be the highest quality, but for this I don't need really good masking tape. I just needed to protect the suitcase from a light spritzing of gold spray paint. This was a very tedious process, but it reminds me of taping ankles. I've seen some people tape them up with long pieces of tape, and I've also seen people use really tiny pieces and it looks like they're making a paper mache foot. I don't think that I know the proper way to do it because I wasn't medically trained. I just, I've seen it done a couple different ways. But yeah, for this I used tiny pieces to get around the curved parts, and then I used long straight pieces to get the bigger areas. is. And that didn't take forever, it was just tedious, but now I'm going to touch up these metal pieces with a metal wire brush. And even though I think graffiti culture looks cool, I am really bad with a spray can. Like, I totally miss my target, and then I overspray so there's drip. I just don't see myself taking the time to practice that, but these, I think they came out good enough. And now let's go back and see if the glue dried on this board. I had it sitting out overnight, so I'm sure that's plenty of time. And look at here, wood glue is just such a powerful material. No dowels or biscuits, I didn't use a joiner, I just glued these two boards together. That's some entry-level stuff right there. And I really like this old SFO luggage tag. I thought I could break that string real quick, but it ended up being way stronger than I expected. I didn't want to damage that old paper, so I have to like very carefully untie that. It doesn't have a name or a date, which is very disappointing. And there's a piece right here that's from a broken clip. I need to remove it carefully, so I'm going to use these little diagonal cutters. I always thought these were called wire cutters. I think I was 39 when I learned that these aren't actually wire cutters. Wire cutters are a different shape, but I've always used those to cut wires. But I guess right here I use it to cut a broken clip. And we're going to give this side the same treatment as the other side. I'm just going to use a little sandpaper though to sand down that broken clip that I just cut. It's kind of sharp at this point. So in the beginning of this video, I briefly said that I sort of found this suitcase. Please let me explain. Currently, I live in my grandparents' old house, but they passed away about 20 years ago. And since they passed, we've had tons of different people live in the house. So when I recently moved back in, I had to clean up the garage, and it was just full of so much random stuff that people left behind. I donated a few things and took most of it to the dump, but I saved this suitcase because I thought one day I might want to make a table out of it. And upon closer inspection, I think that it belonged to my grandfather. Normally, my found items are from the streets. Other people discarded them, but this was my grandpa's suitcase from my grandpa's garage, so that's not like I found it. It's like a different kind of find. So yeah, you know, I just sort of found it. And that's also why I really wanted to see like a name or a date on that luggage tag. And this is the side that I taped up earlier. You can see there's a sticker there with the letter V on it. My grandfather's name was Vicente. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure, just pretty sure this was his. Anyway, I'm going to do this same process to one more side of the suitcase, except this one has like 4 little feet on the corners. And like in this video, they look pretty badly discolored, but currently in my living room, these feet look pretty polished, and I think that's just from people touching them all the time. Isn't that weird? I'm sure it's just one of my daughters who does it without thinking, you know? But I'm not actually sure, it's just a theory. And then with all this touching and moving this coffee table all around the house, that gold spray paint never comes off somehow. And then once I started cleaning this suitcase with some Windex, I realized there's this like dark gunk on all the edges. It's like someone spilled a whole ton of soda on the ground and then dipped this suitcase in the puddle. And cleaning the suitcase somehow made it way more visible. And I actually went back and scrubbed it a lot more when the camera was off, and I think it came up really clean. Oh, but then right here, I totally messed up that V sticker. So I cleaned this thing pretty thoroughly, but there's still a bunch of scuffs and scratches I couldn't get out. Anyway, it's just kind of weird to me that a suitcase can clean up so easily. In the time that we've had it in the living room, we spilled food, paint, glue, all kinds of nonsense. And somehow it always cleans up. It's just a weird material. Like there's some scuffs on top of the suitcase that I couldn't get out in this video, but somehow since we've been using it in the living room, they've come out. But then we've added new scuffs and marks, so I guess it all evens out. And now most of the hardware is painted gold, and you can better see this suitcase's reddish brown complexion. Let's bring things back over to those legs. I cut these legs earlier, but I'm just going to hold them up to this orbital sander to clean them. They were stored outside, so they look really weathered now. That's my bad, guys, so I'm actually just going to have to paint over these. And I honestly don't know why I didn't change the sandpaper on my sander. I'm just making things harder on myself. It's like I'm not trying to sand them down, I'm just polishing them, I guess. And you know, this is from my own house. If it was something for sale, I would probably try a little harder. And earlier I mentioned that my friend put screws through a window frame straight down into the legs in order to make his side table. I'm kind of doing that here, except it's 2 screws and they're going at opposing angles. And these are pretty stubby legs, so this actually comes out to be pretty sturdy. Those ball wheels add a little bit to the height, and the suitcase itself is pretty thick. And all that minimal sanding is going to get covered in this old white paint. I always keep a bucket of white oops paint in the garage. If the paint hasn't gone bad yet, just save it. I'll use it on some furniture project. But this coat came out pretty uneven. I'll have to do a second coat later on. While we wait for that to dry, let's go unwrap some wheels. They've been waiting a long time. They've just been sitting here looking like a bunch of scale models of the earth. But yeah, I really like this kind of wheel. If I can find some more, I'll save them for another project. They're like super durable and they look really cool. we've looked at the interior of the suitcase yet, and it's pretty clean on the inside, but there is a specific smell. For several months at the end of my grandfather's life, we had him in a facility for elderly people that provided around-the-clock care. The inside of this suitcase smells just like that place. It's not the worst smell, but it's not ideal. So I'm just removing all these partitions in the suitcase because we're not going to use it as a suitcase. I have this big wooden tray that I use for assembling Lego sets, and I keep that tray with a partially assembled Lego set inside this suitcase coffee table at all times. Oh yeah, I got the leaf blower going on this thing. It did not remove the smell. And I really like the way these gold fenders wheels look on this white table base. So then we just gotta pop these wheels back into place and orient this table base to have the short legs matching the fat side of the suitcase. Once I get that set where I think I want it, I'm gonna drill 4 little holes in the suitcase. And the table base goes right up to the edge of the suitcase, so it actually gives pretty good support. And I'm using really tiny screws because I was afraid anything longer might go through that piece of wood on the bottom. And that's it, guys. It's a pretty easy project. I just made a suitcase coffee table. It is a high function, unique piece of furniture here. And let's see how it looks in the living room space. I built this thing because I really needed to replace our old coffee table, which was my absolute favorite, but it was low function. I didn't want the kids spilling on it or moving it, and this one was the answer to all those shortcomings. Well, it fits our space pretty well, and it actually matches a lot of our other vintage things we have around the house. I actually think I would have preferred it to be a few inches longer, but I can't change that part of the suitcase. Well, if you're out there and you want to build a little suitcase table, I hope this video is able to give you some helpful insights into that process. Thanks so much for watching.